Stand for the pledge, prayer. Okay.
They needed it this morning.
Gotcha. I'll start with the prayer when she walks back in. Oh, we're not gonna do that. We need Jesus
To take the wheel.
Yes.
We're all standing.
We stood up just for you, Patrick.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Victoria.
Waiting for the posting of the color. Please stand by.
Let's bow our heads. Dear Heavenly Father, God, we thank you for today. God, we thank you for allowing us to be here. God, we thank you for this board. We thank you for this community. God, I pray that, God, we remember your two greatest commands. Love the Lord, our God, with all our heart and all of our minds, and love our neighbors as ourselves. God, I feel like if we live through those, God, we will be able to move mountains. Watch over us as we go. Thank you for allowing us to be here. It's in your heavenly name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Secretary, do we have a quorum?
Now I'm about to do roll call real quick. Directors at large. Vic.
Present.
Sean is not here. Sergeant Arms. Not present. Treasurer.
Here.
Secretary. Here. Vice President.
Here.
President.
Here.
And the GM. Ma'am. Roll call completed. We do have one.
Thank you, sir. All right, we will move into the treasurer's report.
I'm
Looking
sorry,
at
ma'am. The attorney's here too.
Oh.
Sorry.
Am I part of the roll call?
Yes, sir.
That's okay. All right, so we have Bill, Jeff, to share the financials with us.
We have February and March's to go over, so I'll touch on the highlights. For February, the Property Owners Association was under budget by $21,911. And at that point, year to date, we were under $32,644. Some of those highlights were golf maintenance being under budget by $12,175. Mostly because of ordering a lot of things we need. We get purchasing power by purchasing in large quantities at one time. So the budget sort of breaks down over the course of the year. So we're doing really, really well in that regard. Also for, let me see, the pools for February, because they were closed, we're under budget by $8,923, but do not despair, we'll make ground up on that. The yacht club was under budget by $2,158. And for the year, they're under budget $1,621. And the 19th hole was over budget for the month, $1,055. And year to date, they were over $5,398. So that was February's. Going over into March. For March, the POA was under budget by $45,665. And year to date, we're under budget by $83,614. Highlights of that are the golf shop, which was under budget by $21,372 for the month of March, which was better than $23,000 from the same time period in 2025. We are very, very happy with the progress that they're making over there, so we couldn't be any happier with that. And another bright spot was the yacht club. We got our second round of our, I guess you call it the profit sharing, a portion of the sales at the end of the year. It came in two different parts. Each part was $7,970. They just had to split it up by the way their accounting is. So the rest of that will hit for April. So very, very pleased to have got that $15,800. And the 19th hole was under budget for the month by $5,288, which means for the year, they are only over budget by $110. They exceeded their sales budget by $5,288 in March, and we had much lower expenses. That's due to just really wrangling in the menu, not ordering when we don't need to, and really focusing on waste. So very happy with all of their performances for all the departments for February and March.
Thanks, Jeff. Committee reports, I think we only had one
Yes.
and it was posted, communication.
at the
Okay,
gym.
okay, got it. All right, so we're gonna move into member comments. Gil, will you manage the list for us, please?
Yes, ma'am.
And just a reminder, you guys, direct your comments to me. I'll answer it the best I can, provide a response. Then we'll allow the rest of the board to provide comments. I will note, if we're not able to answer your question tonight, I will make a promise that we will provide some sort of response within a week or so. But just give us a little bit of patience and time, but we'll provide a response at some point. So who do we have up first?
Now,
Oh.
Don Cologne.
Okay, I just have a couple things. First of all, there's been a little chatter about one of the entrances, like the landscaping of the entrances. Who does our landscaping for the entrances?
So Jeff and his team,
As of March 27th,
March 27th.
so less than a month. we've been.
Okay,
Yeah.
because they were talking about the Windsor, this with the little.
The same stuff that was there last year, it's just growing up a little bit. We're gonna get on that. It's just getting to it in phases. First thing we had to do was take care of the irrigation systems and trying to get all of that. So we're doing
Gotcha.
larger stuff. That'll be the next thing.
I was just gonna say we have a gardening club. I mean,
Yeah, I did too.
just
Yeah.
suggest, the ladies, because they take field trips
Mhm.
and, I think we attended the
Yeah,
same meeting
yeah.
and it was very informative and they're a bunch of nice.
It's a
ladies
huge
and-
group. and-
Yeah, it's a big group. So I just think that's a suggestion. And then, wasn't that important? Okay.
Thank you. Did we answer your question? Is that,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, well, I mean.
Or I
could-
mean, do we need a response?
Could we, like, maybe talk with the gardening club ladies and see
Yeah.
if that's a possibility?
Yeah,
maybe?
yeah, we'll definitely,
Okay.
I'll stronghold someone to get there. But yeah, I think that's a great idea. Something we definitely could consider. It, if you give the opportunity to the community to provide there, then maybe,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it'd be good.
be involved.
Cool. Thank you. Who's next?
Victoria Felt. Mayor King, can you state your address, please? I didn't do hers, but I know her. I better
Do
know
you?
her. Better know her.
Good evening, President Tapp. My name is Victoria Phelps. I go by VJ. I live on Worcester Drive. I'm a long-term Lake Forest resident. Yes, I'm a former military service person with background in project management and in engineering. I'd like to offer my services to this board in any way that they could be used in an advisory capacity, such as the entrance situation. Actually, our entrances are more of a commercial type application. And so in the past, the group of the Garden Club, occasionally they used to get out there and do some volunteering and weeding occasionally. That's not a good long-term fix. It should just be handled professionally in-house by our people now. That's the shift that we've made. And what seems to have slipped over the last 3 years is the installation of seasonal flowers, which used to occur twice a year. So somewhere along the line, when the management company left, some of these things just didn't translate into whatever else we've been doing for management. So, so twice a year on the seasonal flowers was what typically worked. The crew that was doing that for us also did what's called wet checks every year in the early spring across not only our entrances, but all of our 2-acre sites, because they're responsible for all of our common grounds as well. And all of those places were serviced weekly under that contract. So if you did an ROI on them versus our people, it always worked out that it was in better interest financially for us to use a contracting situation. So I don't know what the numbers are now, but that's always the way that it was. And so your money for that should be embedded in the grounds budget, which was embedded in maintenance. And if that hasn't gone away either, that's where you could find money for installing street signage and installing seasonal flowers. So just trying to be helpful there.
Can I ask something real quick?
Yeah.
What's a wet check?
It's when they go out and they test all of our sprinkler systems, because when we did our pool renos on both Montclair and Ridgewood pools, those sites used to be hard pan with red clay and no grass. And so when we did those pool renos back in around 2018, 2019, we looked at the project as an all-in-one thing. So we also did the landscaping as well as the pool scope of work. And with that being said, we hired a contractor to write us a plan that was competitive, included topsoil, sprinkler system, the landscape out there. Now, so what I've seen is a trend over the last 3 years of things really slipping. Like I could go around to every site and show you things that this needs maintenance, that needs maintenance, this, we need more mulch in the playground there. Just that the contractor was doing those things for us. Now, so wet checks just mean they tested every sprinkler system we had. And price estimate. And it was up to the GM to trigger that under maintenance to get those sprinkler systems all working. Just safeguarded. Grass and all the places as well. And you can't. So it took a lot of years to get the water right with those entrances, and I hate to see it slip back. So anyway, so it's my first time coming with new board members, and I just wanted to congratulate all of you for stepping up to help your community. This is not a money-making proposition. You believe in probably improving something. Maybe it's one thing, maybe it's two things, maybe it's a plethora. You're not here because it's a money-making venture, that's for sure. I have empathy, and the misunderstandings that occur, but improved transparency, providing ROIs before decisions are made to help us better understand if we're going to have a transition of services or a key program is going to change. That will help ease some of this tension that I see is going on out there. And so I have a few comments to make about the lake. I'll hold them for another time, but I'd just like to close my comments by just saying that that one cannot speak truth to power unless power has no use for the truth. Whatever we're doing here, we need to be doing it in truth. Okay, whatever the good, the bad, the ugly is, just give us the truth, put things on the agenda with enough time so you can get feedback from us. You can ask for your and engage, put member comments up front. So you're hearing from us for anything that's on this agenda that we may be for or against before you vote. Whereas the whole last 3 years, we were at the back. Our comments and people coming to meetings aren't even noted in any way or nor the topic that we may have brought in here. And I really appreciated that would change, because we've been bringing in issues and they've just been glossed over like nothing to see here. So I want to build bridges. I don't want to tear them down. If I can give any help in any way, I'm more than happy to try. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Victoria. We appreciate it.
Can I say something real quick?
Sure.
There's a few people that said that they can't get in on the Zoom. It's working? Because there's like 3 people that said they can't get in on the Zoom.
Are they using the right login?
I'm assuming.
That's because we're on Zoom right now. Like I mean, it's on. This is the meeting time, and it's.
I know that one of them for sure has she uses it regularly.
Well, it changed recently.
Oh,
so
it
check
did?
Check the last page. All the login information it's always on the last page.
Okay, I'll tell her.
And it's had to change a couple of times if we ever switched and shifted who was moderating and controlling the,
Jeff, it shows only one on there. Is that all it ever shows? It just shows.
well, no,
two?
it'll show more if there was more people.
Okay.
How many normally is there? Is there?
Two, one more.
Is the room open to guests?
Mhm.
This is also being recorded.
Mhm.
So that's the worst case scenario.
Yeah, okay. I just told him to check what he said, check the last page.
Sorry, Mr. Lake, before you go, Victoria, I just want to say, we hear you, and I appreciate you coming up and talking to us. We hear you. We're about transparency too.
Thank you.
And so I hope that you begin to see a difference. We'll be as honest as we can,
Hope Springs Attorney,
definitely.
and I'm in favor.
Thank you. Yes,
Hi.
sir.
First thing, John Lake, 110 Page Circle. I've lived in Lake Forest since 1974. First, I want to congratulate those of you who are on the board. You all have taken a position that you will find you'll get more kicks in the butt than you do on pats on the back. Don't take those kicks because they're from a minority of people. If over the next few years you need somebody to just talk you off the ledge, call me. I can certainly try to help keep you from doing jumping, okay? I wanted to, Ms. Phelps brought up something about the agenda, and I remember when it was put on the agenda, and it was when she was on the board. So, you know, I like it on the end before we vote on everything, so we can discuss items and then allow people to inject themselves before the items are voted on. Because I think it's good that we hear some of the ideas of what you're doing and why you're doing it, because sometimes we don't understand the decision-making processes that you're doing. I've seen it from both sides. And so I don't try to question what you're doing. I just try to thank you for taking the time to discuss it. I know you're going to be having a lot of problems, but you also have got a good community here. You know, don't take sparse attendance as a negative, take it as a compliment, because I will tell you, when people are happy, they don't typically come to the meetings. When they're unhappy, they'll come. So take the lack of attendance here as a thing that most people here in Lake Forest are not upset about with what you're doing and how you're doing it. And I also compliment, I drive by Windsor Drive every morning, every afternoon, every day. And I know but I also saw what they're trying to do. And I compliment them because I'd rather have it in-house so that our landscape people, who we've got some good ones working on the golf course and that, can address it and probably leverage that in other areas of Lake Forest. So I think give it a chance. Just give our general manager a chance, give the board. So I appreciate all y'all done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Lake. Any board members want to make any comments?
Could I just offer one word of encouragement? I didn't sign up.
I'm sorry.
I didn't sign up.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, absolutely.
Can you give your first and last name, sir?
My name's David Dewitt. I'm at 104 Dolly Boulevard,
1064.
104. There, 12 years. I just wanted to say, in this age of polarization, I hope that all of y'all will do your very best to stick with the democratic process and try to change each other's minds and talk to one another. I think in this time, we sometimes think, well, I can't do anything until I get more people on the board that think like me, or I can't do this until I get changed this leadership or that leadership. And y'all are the people that are going to be doing all the work. It doesn't make any difference how many people are out here. Y'all are going to be the ones working. And I just want to thank you for doing it. I don't care whether you were appointed or whether you were elected. It really doesn't make any difference. The fact that you're sitting in those chairs means you care. And I really appreciate it. But seriously, in this age of polarization, let's not jump to the tried and true method of getting your way, which is find people who agree with you and make sure you're in the majority. You know, that's not democracy. We need to talk to each other and change each other's minds and explain things. Okey doke. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
All right. Anybody else? We good?
That's it.
That's it.
All
ma'am.
right. We'll move on to the next item. We'll get into old business. So, approval of the February stated meeting minutes.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. February and March financial review and approvals. Do I hear a motion?
I second.
All in favor?
Uh,
Aye. Lake and Environmental Committee report. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so I think this is it. You wanna go over this? You don't want to? Okay. All right, moving on. Mr.
Jeff. Yes, ma'am. So I touched on a lot of the financial, things that have happened recently, so I'll be brief here. For April, had a very, very good April. We closed the first quarter with a revenue increase of $37,208 in golf. So very pleased with the progress they're making. We've had a lot of tournaments this month, which is great. We've had a lot of weekend tournaments, which is sort of a double-edged sword. It's not, you don't get as much revenue, but it's also a benefit for the membership. So with Masters Saturday, when they wanted to have 2 tournaments instead of 1, they kind of booked up the tee times, but the members had a good time. So we were happy to accommodate that. As far as maintenance goes, the cart path on hole number 5 has been soil spread and sodded over. This should allow golfers to not be penalized for hitting shots down the middle of the fairway and hitting the cart path, ultimately ending up out of bounds. So it's something that we saw we were having a lot of complaints with and a lot of issues with. It was creating a lot of drainage problems as well. So we went ahead and resolved that. 2 pine beetle infected pine trees were removed adjacent to holes number 13 and 14. The service meter should be installed for the well pump. At this point, once that's done, we'll have to get it rewired and properly hooked up, but that's been down for going on 2.5 years. Just a lot of things with trying to get Riviera Utility to put the wire underground, and so a lot of things on the back end. But Riviera Utilities finished up the actual getting the wire ran underground about 3 weeks ago, and they'll have the meter installed sometime the first of next week. So we'll be able to move forward with watering the golf course a little bit better than we have been. Excuse me. The pond on 17 was treated once again with the aquatic herbicide to help manage the aquatic weeds. Big news, the pool's opened up on April 11th, and the Montclair pool will be closed throughout the weekend. There was an umbrella was broken off in one of the umbrella sleeves in the pool. So it caused the umbrella sleeve to crack, and it also wedged the piece of metal into that sleeve. So there's a shard of metal sticking up out of the pool. So try as I might, as much as I could, did everything I could to get that piece of metal out. It wasn't going to happen. So Alabama Pool Works is going to come in. They're going to drain the water to that point, remove the other umbrella that's in there, and they're going to go ahead and plug those holes so this doesn't happen again. Because if you don't have umbrellas in there, then you've got this little thing that someone's going to get their toe caught in and slip and fall and hurt themselves. So we're just having that patched up. So it should be fixed by the end of the weekend. Let's see. The next thing, the 19th hole. The 19th hole is continuing to show great progress into 2026. We closed the first quarter with a revenue increase of $4,700. And the highlight of the month for the 19th hole, as usual, is the Wednesday night burger specials, where this month we sold 296 burgers. So from a perspective, that's almost
wild.
300 people ate dinner here on Wednesday nights, which is something we're kind of proud of.
How many burgers?
296 on Wednesdays.
That's
There was a special credit to the bingo operators that night.
Yeah.
And we still have one more Wednesday in the month, so that'll be closer to 350. How about that?
Jeff, I'd like you
Fish is
to,
just slowing down.
I'd like you to,
Hey, Jeff, Matt's
Yes,
got a
I'm sorry.
question.
yeah, I'd like you, I heard you describe to somebody the process of having to put on goggles, go in the water, see how that metal pole, I would just like your assessment of how that happened.
Someone just pushed on the pole and broke the pole. It's an aluminum pole. It's one of the older ones, so it's just a thick aluminum that they just eventually through time and attrition just were able to pop it off.
So it had to do it on purpose is the point.
Or playing around, maybe just through time, it just wore itself down. But
Okay.
when it did come off, it did a number. Someone was leaning on it when it went over because of the way it was angled, so it was it's still a hazard. But went over there Sunday morning, bright and early, in the rain and the coolness, with a pry bar and a pair of pliers, and did my darndest to get it out. Couldn't do it, so grabbed a pair of goggles and went to see if I could see where it was. I mean, it's a game, so where to see? I'm not.
Sad I
not a
missed
martyr.
that.
Yeah.
God.
It was pretty cold. It was very cold. But we were able to, I told Alabama Pool Works, I realized any more moving for me was just gonna compromise that sleeve a little bit more, which at that point, I'm not sure how well they secured the area they had it in. Don't wanna have a pool leak because I was trying to, be a superhero. But they're sure they're gonna get it fixed and we'll solve the problem.
How many broken umbrellas in total have we had?
14.
Since April 11th.
14.
Wow. And how much do they cost a piece?
One got on sale. They were like normally $190, $200, and got on sale for like $130. And it's a combination of when the old ones break, when the new ones break, I'm putting the old ones out in their place because I didn't throw them away because I just figured, attrition, things are going to happen. But I am also out of the old ones as well. Like we have gone through, we've broken a combination of old and new.
What if we installed some sail shades instead of umbrellas because they wouldn't break?
That's a good idea.
Or picnic tables that have the hard plastic top, because if we transition to polywood tables and chairs, get rid of the tables and chairs, just get polywoods with a cover over them. I mean, anything other than the umbrellas, because we can go out there, a storm's coming in tonight, I can go lower the umbrellas. If something comes in during the middle of the day, you're if they're up, they're just up. So they're always going to be prone to that. But yeah, 14 was hopefully that's the worst of it so far.
People are really excited about the pools.
Very much so.
Yeah. Thank you, Jeff. Anything else you guys, the board, have anything for Jeff before we move on? All right. Okay, any other old business we want to discuss before moving into new business? All right, new business. So the first thing we'll talk about is the committee resolution. So our team's been doing a really great job to work through all the existing committees that we've had for a couple years. We've looked at them independently. We want to make sure that it's bringing value to the community. So every board member's looked at them. We've asked questions. Like I said, we want to make sure we're adding value to the community. So we've been discussing that. We tabled it last week, but I think we're in a good position to move forward with our resolution. We'll vote on the committees tonight, but we'll wait until next month to vote on the resolution. We'll get Patrick to update it, and then we'll vote on the resolution. So I'll ask that the committee chairs say whatever you want about your committee, and then we'll take a vote to include that committee this year. Misty, you're up. Infrastructure.
Okay, so infrastructure, I had a few more people join this week. I believe our total count is up to 12 volunteers. We have several people on the board. Matt, yourself, Tom are on the board, and then the rest are all community members, which is exciting. And we have a very long capital projects list ahead of us. We are going to do it a little bit different, and we're going to focus on one project per month instead of touching on 10 per month, with the idea that we review our material, we make our votes, we send a recommendation to the board on the project for that month, and then we're going to move to the next project for the next month. So that's the plan so far.
Awesome.
Madam President, I've got a question.
Yes, sir.
You've got 12 members. Are the members still required to sign the documents, the rules of conduct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I can't find that in the bylaws. Could someone give me where we require people to do that?
Yes, sir. We'll take a note to that.
Is that in the committee resolution?
Oh, that might actually
Yeah,
might be
Pat-
it.
I
Pat-
think
Yeah, Patrick, I don't know if you can
I
answer it off.
believe- I
okay.
believe it is. but
Okay.
You know, I don't know, hold me to that. I'm pretty sure it is. in the
Okay.
resolution. It's not, I think you're right, it's not in the bylaws, but it's in the resolution. And it's in the document itself that was adopted by the board, that it says that committee members and board members, it has both in there.
But not in the bylaws. It's a separate document.
That's correct. I don't think it's in the bylaws.
No, it's not in the bylaws. I know that. Yeah, I would like to see us not do that. That's my opinion. I don't think committee, a resident who wants to give up their time to be on the committee should have to sign those documents. That's my opinion.
Thanks, Vic. And we'll look into that and find that resolution and make sure
Sure.
you have that.
Like to see
Thank
it.
you. So Patrick, do we have to vote on each committee or we gonna do it all in the
You can do it all at
committee?
once.
Okay.
So, I mean, you know,
We do it all at once?
yeah,
Okay,
you can
Yeah,
just-
all the committees are on the list.
okay.
Well, let me get a clarifying thing, because the way the bylaws are written, it's a little bit unclear, and it says that you're supposed to list in the resolution the people on the committees. And I think there was a discussion about just listing the board members that are on the committees. Is that the desire to do it that way? Just wanna make
Yes.
sure.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Mhm.
I thought that was.
Okay. Then we'll just have a general discussion. We won't vote on the applicability of them. We'll do that in the committee resolution next month. So I'm in favor of the infrastructure. I think everybody here is in agreement with that.
I second that.
Okay.
Keep the infrastructure committee.
You wanna do them all together, or you don't do them? I'm sorry.
Oh, you may do them all together?
You can
Do
do
we have to
whatever you
vote
want.
with the resolution?
No, I think you can just say, if you want to say, you can say, we're gonna instruct me to put these 5 committees
I gotcha.
in the resolution so we can vote on next month. That'd
Okay.
be a great motion to make. If y'all are in agreement on it. If not, then you may want to do them separate.
Okay.
I motion to include the infrastructure committee in the
Do
upcoming
one at a time?
resolution.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do one at a time.
I'd like to know, she said they got 12 members on infrastructure. So have all the committees have their members already? So the committees have their members or not?
I don't think so.
No,
So
they-
this is not about the members. This is just a resolution that we will have these committees
Yes,
this
sir.
year.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's it.
So.
Yeah,
you're in
we
the
have to-
process.
We have to vote on outside board members on those committees. So we'll have another process where we'll vote on those.
And you can have as many people as you want on the committee?
I think
we-
the bylaw or the committee resolution
It-
states that.
You used to state that 7 members.
And she got
But-
12.
but-
I was just wondering.
Yeah,
That sounds
we
like a lot.
we can make that number whatever we want, so.
Okay.
I think, expand that in the resolution
Okay.
to include, say, 14.
I don't think you're lucky to get that many.
Yeah,
So,
but
are we gonna-
if we did, it would still be good.
Is there a second?
A second.
Okay.
All in favor?
Uh,
All right, infrastructure
Okay.
passes. So next will be events. I know we've had a lot of discussion around events. I think the structure of the events committee, Charlie's not here to kind of talk through it, is gonna look a little different. We are going to assume responsibility of 4 major events to Jeff and his team. And Charlotte will support Jeff in that role and additional board members when needed. So the office staff and Jeff will be responsible for 4 events.
So I motion to exclude the events committee from the forthcoming resolution.
I second that. All in favor?
I
You're excluding,
We're excluding the events
So-
committee.
yeah, we're not voting on the events tonight, is what you're saying.
No. We are going to exclude it from the committee resolution. No,
So there'll be no more events committee.
no events committee.
Okay, so we're gonna scratch this out, is what you're saying.
Well, if it passes.
If
Alright.
it passes.
Okay. So we got a second already, right?
Yes, sir. And we had
Everyone
vote.
has to vote though.
yay or nay for you.
Yay.
Okay, so passes. We will exclude events from the resolution. Tom's not here. Former Mr. Chair, Lake Environmental. You want to speak on anything or you okay?
We had a meeting, people from the
We're-
committee that were appointed last year showed up. They
Okay.
want to continue continue on it,
Okay.
but, yeah, give the Lake and Environment Committee for Tom.
Okay, so do I hear a motion to keep the Lake
How many,
Environmental?
how many
Committee?
members on that?
How many hours? Five, maybe,
Five
five,
members,
maybe.
I'm wishing to retain the Lake Environmental Committee for the upcoming resolution.
One second.
All in favor? Aye.
Like,
Okay. City Affairs, Gil, I'll let you kind of,
Recording in progress.
You said recording in progress?
Yeah.
I'll kind of let you give kind of a summary of where we are and where we're going with that.
Yes, ma'am. So it's, I attend all the city, the majority of the city, council meetings. There are a few that I don't attend. I attend the public safety, public works, city council, and safety.
Zoning
Again, and zone,
and zone.
planning and zoning. We're working on a resolution that we'll pass and we'll go for a vote later on today. Don't wanna jump that procedure yet. Normally I report strictly to the president. But I think one of the things that they want to recommend that I present this in this forum.
so this is not a committee.
That's what we're discussing right
Discussing.
now. So I think that's what
I
we're,
never heard that. I was just wondering.
yeah.
I make a motion that we keep the committee, but not as, I keep the position, but not as a committee.
So I wouldn't be on that committee.
No, I'll have, there's,
There would be
Nobody
no
won't be a
committee. There
committee.
won't be a
If
committee.
there's only one person, you can't call it a committee. can you?
Right. So he'll just continue to report to the board.
So we need to just take that out and just say we have an advisor to the city.
Yeah,
City
I-
advisor.
Yeah, I would ask, if there's any efficacy in retaining a committee. I would ask you that question.
honestly, no, because I'm the one that engages the city. But I would like to have someone besides me in case I'm not there, that person could actually attend some of those meetings that I can't attend, because I'm a firm believer, if you got one, you got none. If you got two people, you at least got one attending and providing the board sense. I think it should not be a committee, it should be a primary and an alternate.
Well, just keep me on it. I'll just be your backup.
I second that motion.
All in favor of scratching City Affairs Committee?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Okay. All right, so we'll move into the Communications Committee. We've had a lot of recent discussion about this and the scope of the Communications Committee, and I came up kind of with a not really a governing document, just kind of a guideline of, expectations. If we were to keep the Communications Committee, a lot of communications have historically been, through the board. We feel that Jeff and his team are probably more suited to make some of those communications. We obviously will have input, but we've kind of restructured it. One of the main scope items for the Communications Committee would be, working with the office and the newsletter. So that was kind of the largest scope item that we have within the committee. So a lot of the responsibility of communications would be with Jeff and his team. So we kind of restructured that. So we'll take a vote on the Communications Committee.
So what,
Discussion.
before you
Yeah,
do
yeah,
that,
go ahead.
yeah.
I'm sorry, my bad.
Yeah, I got a question. Are you saying the Communications Committee will only be dealing with the newsletter, nothing else?
There's a couple of other items that I think we looked at them last week.
I don't see it, but
Okay,
I'm just
yeah, they
trying
were
to
in our
understand.
packet last week. I can go over them real quick. Let me read them off to you.
So I guess my question is, if I want Jeff to do an e-blast on a particular program, I don't have to go through the Communications Committee to do that.
That's right. Jeff would be, and his team would be responsible, under the assumption that if there are any items that would pertain to the board, that he would have discretion, that he would come to the board if we needed
Right.
such discussion. I'm gonna print it off.
Somebody might propose that Jeff post something about architectural review committee that isn't even on the architectural review committee. and the architectural review committee, as represented by the board, would have to agree to the way that's stated or agree to whether we would
Right.
state. They might propose something erroneously, like we won't enforce something, you know.
I
So
understand
so
that
there
now.
needs to be some governance.
My situation is pretty simple, is that, I'm coordinating a youth pickleball tournament for the city of Daphne, and I'd like to have it advertised for the Lake Forest, young people, or youth of Lake Forest, to be able to let them know they can attend. So if I send, the flyer to Jeff, that should be all I need to do.
Is it specifically for the residents of Lake Forest?
It was for everybody in the city, which the Lake Forest residents are part of the city.
Gotcha.
It's for the city.
Mhm.
We are part of the city.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
So we would like to, I think we should advertise when we have a major city event through Lake Forest, communications. That's my feeling. I think that would be very important. But they got a lot of big things coming up.
Yeah, I think kind of like
250
with
year
whenever you
Anniversary.
We used to be
posted the
doing
mayor's
that.
breakfast. Yeah.
If it was general information, I'm sorry I'm out of order, but for the sake of the public, and since we represent such a large hunk of the public in Daphne, such as Recycle Day or anything that's for the public good, and some recreational items would go on our Facebook page and in our newsletter possibly.
Yeah, I don't
Okay
think,
with
I
that?
don't see why we have an
Cool.
issue with that.
Let's do that.
Just like, I was saying, I didn't mean to interrupt, but with, Gil, sending information about the mayor's
Meeting
dinner.
with the mayor.
Yeah,
And we had a lot of Lake Forest people showed up for that.
yeah.
Yeah.
We had
So-
the trouble table.
I found the committee roles and communication framework. I'll just go over really quickly, just kind of what the scope is. If we approve the committee, this would be the scope of that committee. So supports development of the association newsletter, helps shape tone, clarity, and member engagement. A promoter of Lake Forest may suggest communication topics or ideas to the GM or office for consideration. Provides writing assistance, editing, or communication guidance to the GM or office when requested. Assists with board directed non-operational communications when requested, and serves as a sounding board when communication approval is unclear. So that would kind of be, they assist the office if needed.
I got one
The
question,
only-
Madam President.
Well,
Go ahead,
let
Matt.
me ask my question.
go ahead.
Is Jeff, you understand this recommendation? And you're at your end, you can handle all these things.
We're good.
All right.
Madam President.
Yes, sir.
My question is that, is the communications committee going to be the reviewer of the newsletter, or, because I remember the last newsletter, all the board members got a copy and we reviewed it, marked it up, and sent it in. Are we still gonna have that? Who's gonna review the newsletter to see if it's correct?
The whole board.
So it's gonna be a board function?
Yeah, I mean, it says supports development of the association. So the communications committee would just support developing it. We still have the same process of reviewing and approving it.
So the board, I thought that was. a
Unless you're gonna
one-time thing. I've never heard of that, but so you're saying each individual board will get a copy of it like we did last time,
Yeah.
and we will make our comments?
Yeah. Regardless of who writes it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll keep that
Okay.
in place.
I thought that was gonna go to the communications folks.
I'd like to review the newsletter before it goes out, so.
It's pretty much a template, so I'm fine with.
I think some of the things that you've just read that were part of the communications charter from last time is now being handled in-house by Jeff's staff when we reviewed the change in their job descriptions. So I would move that we do not move forward with having a communications committee. That is my motion.
Are we done with discussion? We good?
May I
to-
say something? I was the communications committee chairman when it moved from printed to digital. And we had some rules. One of them was we stayed out of politics in the city. We didn't endorse candidates. And it seems like, I don't know what happened to those rules, but I think y'all might need to dig them up again. There were some things in there that really kept us out of trouble.
Yeah.
And back then, I was the one that made the decision. I did that. Like, someone would send in a little blurb and they would start asking for money. No, you can't have the money in the newsletter unless the board approves.
Yeah, we turned down a lot of people wanting to,
So, you know,
Put
I'll
their
come up
own-
with a set of
Yeah.
rules.
yeah. we-
That,
Okay.
Mallory has come up with a governing doc that's like, okay, the GM, if it's this type of communication, it's going to go to the GM and then to the board. So we have a if this, then that.
Yeah, but those,
kind of flow chart.
those rules that you mentioned, were carried on.
Were they?
And, yeah, and
Right.
we turned down a lot of candidates who wanted to either publish in a newsletter or even come here and make presentations. So
It seems like there was a lot of,
staying,
candidates
staying out of the
used in
politics.
and I've never seen that before. That was quite a surprise.
Yes, it was.
Madam
I
President,
think-
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
So the newsletter replaced the newspaper,
Yes.
Lake Forest News Magazine and newspaper, where we had paid ads in there from
Correct.
businesses,
Yes,
and we made money off that.
No.
no,
Oh, they didn't pay for the ads?
no.
They
They
did.
they paid the publisher. That's how we were able to have a printed
Okay.
paper.
So
But
it
there
was paid
diminishing
for,
return
okay.
on print ads
Eventually,
to
didn't
where
pay
it
for
was
the
not
print.
feasible, it wasn't
Yeah.
feasible for them to.
I
run a
thought they were
paper
paying
anymore.
advertising fees.
The
Okay.
advertiser was making money, the print company, but they came to us and wanted us to pay them $800 a month to do continue to publish it because it was a situation where the owners broke off from each other. There's two brothers, they owned the company Gulf Coast News. One took part of the newspapers, the other took the other. The one who took our section was trying to get a little bit more income is what it was.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So we don't have that
Yeah.
anymore. So my question is that we have a newsletter.
Mhm.
And at the back of the newsletter is a calendar of events, correct?
Yes, sir.
So you got to go to the newsletter to find the calendar.
That should change.
I would like to have the calendar by itself and the documents on the
Absolutely.
site, so we
Yeah.
can just
Great
refer
idea.
back to it without having to read the newsletter.
Yeah.
again.
I think we all agree with that.
Okay.
I think
All
that's
right, I'm
something
just
that
trying
we're
to
gonna-
understand the newsletter
Yes, sir.
concept.
Yeah. but
Okay, cool.
I think we have coming up, at some point, discussion by our general manager of some morphing of that process and moving to a more real-time communication.
Yeah, excited about that.
Yes.
So was there a motion made to?
Yeah. So I'll restate it. I made a motion to remove the communications committee from the upcoming resolution.
I second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so we will strike communications committee. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 3 standing committees, I think. It is the Architectural Review Board, we have the Finance Committee, and we have
Election.
Election Committee. So those are permanent committees. So moving forward, we
So-
will,
So Madam.
yes, sir.
We only have 2 committees that are not,
Standing committee.
yeah, we only have, we
Yeah.
got 2 infrastructure and lake environmental zone committees we have.
Yeah, so
besides the
moving
ones that-
Moving
Well,
forward, we will
and the
have,
other three she just said.
right, so we'll have.
Yeah, I know I don't even think about the other 3, because that's separate from what we're talking about here. Gotcha.
So we will be moving forward with the infrastructure and the Lake Environmental Committee. All right, good deal. Good conversation. Any other comments or conversations around that before we move into the next agenda
Sure
item?
we'll get rid of those. Just kidding.
Anybody else? All right, good. Moving on to the next topic. Mr. Secretary, please. This is you.
This is me.
This is you.
Oh, Madam President, I motion to read resolution number 2026-002. To establish traffic controls at Ridgewood Drive and Lake Forest Boulevard and Windsor Drive intersection.
Any discussion?
Has our attorney read this
Yes,
and agreed to it?
he read it and he provided his,
Yeah, I guess the edits are in there. I'd say back to the edits.
Okay.
so the representative that provided is the one that I collaborated with attorney.
My comment would be, President, is that, I drive Windsor, that area, and there's times that I don't see a car coming, and they do come pretty fast coming down, going to the Windsor lights. And I feel like it's a safety hazard, and, I know it's gonna
Amen.
irritate some people that live on Windsor, but that's the ones that'll be irritated more than anybody else. So I'm in favor of having stop signs installed there myself due to safety issues.
A second your motion.
Oh, I made the motion. I was just giving a comment. I didn't know that was a motion, but
All
that
in-
sounds good.
All in favor of adopting resolution 2026-002 to install stop signs at Ridgewood and Windsor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. All right, the last item under new business is the climate survey, and Misty will provide an update on that for us.
So I put together a draft list of survey questions. I disseminate them amongst the board. I've gotten some feedback, some positive feedback. The purpose of this survey is to collect perspectives from all of our membership on what they think about our amenities, what our priorities should be, what issues we have with communication, trust, and transparency. There's also a few demographic questions on there so that we can get an understanding of who's answering: households with children, households without children, working age households versus retired households. I think if we have widespread participation in the climate survey, is going to really help give us the insights we need to make the decisions that best benefit the community. So I would like to make a motion that we move forward with this climate survey. And if we want to discuss it some more prior to voting, I'm happy to do that.
I like it. Yeah, I have a few comments. So are we paying for the survey?
No, I'm building it.
You're building the survey, and we will review as you sent out a draft. What it was a draft, correct?
Yeah,
And we'll
there's
review
another
that,
draft.
and before the final goes out, the board will review that. And here's my only concern is that the results of the survey, you're going to be the one that will determine what the results are.
Well, the
There's no
software,
outside people going to do that. You will be making that
Right.
determination.
right, it is a survey-based software,
Mm.
and it's what I do for a living. I'm a researcher. So I'll provide my own analysis, but also raw data to the board for their own analysis. Then
Yeah,
we'll-
that's where the conflict of interest would be.
But-
Your analysis.
Yes, but I'm a recognized expert in
Oh.
data analysis, so,
Uh,
but you'll have access to the raw data to do your own analysis as well. But it's just summary and aggregate style analysis. It's not going to be inferential.
Yeah, I would say, the survey is a good idea. And if we get wide participation, the results, we can look at your analysis of the results, and we can look at the results. Because, any interpretation of a survey certainly there's a numerical process involved in that, but there's also a certain amount of subjectivity. And I think that's what you're
Yeah, that's
you're
exactly what I'm
trying
saying.
to address. And so to keep everybody's confidence high in whatever results we interpret the detailed survey, we'll have answers to all these questions. And whatever overlay to that we place as a board on assessing the survey, would have more confidence if we all look at the data and so on and so forth.
Absolutely.
And I appreciate your efforts to support the board and the analysis that will come.
Thanks.
I like surveys and I hate them at the same time. Right? I really do. Because everything we do in the military is all surveys. There's a survey for everything. So my question is, what control mechanism we're gonna have in place that prevents one person to reply multiple times to that survey? If
So
there's-
I'm glad you bring that up because that's an important piece of this. So we will put a public request out to our residents to make sure they have their updated email address on record with the office. The survey I will upload everyone's email addresses and it will track electronically so that no one can take the survey more than once.
I don't like that. I don't like a board member getting everybody's email address. Maybe Jeff could do that
Sure.
instead of a board member.
Yeah, that's
We
no
don't
problem.
need board members having email addresses. That's my opinion.
I thought we had them. Well, there have been people in the past that tried to capitalize on it for
Somebody else's
Well,
file.
less than
And now everybody else
selfless
is bored.
reasons.
Yes, boy,
Can this
and,
action by board member limits the rest of the board forever? Seems excessively difficult on yourselves.
well, I have no reason personally to have emails of people that live in the subdivision. But, you know, we had everybody knows, I mean, the elephant in the room is we had a president misuse that information. And Jeff is a custodian of that information. And, so I think really we should let Jeff do his part of it and let you do your part.
Sure.
And there's no question there that whether board members had email addresses or didn't, we didn't. And Jeff has those.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then what do you think about having a paper option for people who don't want to fill it out on a computer or a phone?
As long as we have that check that one person doesn't fill out more than one.
Yeah.
One.
Right.
How many do you suggest we print and have available? As needed or?
Yeah, maybe they just need to let us know that they're coming up and because we would also want to check that they didn't double dip on the electronic
Yeah.
side.
And I have no problem with the survey, and what you're doing, Misty. I think it's a good idea to understand how the community works and how they feel. Because sometimes we only get a small group of people. This, maybe we'll get a lot more people will do that. Because I do fill out surveys, especially after been on a cruise. I always do that.
Well, and one thing that had me thinking about the survey is, we talked about low participation in the recent election. There were 900 people who weren't able to vote because they weren't up to date. And so this is a way for everyone to have a voice regardless of their financial situation, because they are still living in the neighborhood and their opinion still matters.
Yeah, and that's true, because my wife, she gets nothing from Lake Forest, and I don't even know if they have her email address.
We should change that.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
should sign her up.
But I know voting, it only goes to
Sign her
one person, right? Goes to that house, but
Mhm.
everything else, it should be multiple email addresses.
I don't think that you having access or not having access to emails is going to influence. I think at the end of the day is as long as the survey is pushed out and the results go to the person. And if you're the one analyzing the data, as long as the data comes to you, then whoever sends the email out really shouldn't influence. I do agree that we shouldn't have the emails. Just it keeps us from dipping into that gray area.
And it removes the question really, if, the situation we had was horrible. And I don't ever want to cross that bridge again. And I think, I trust Misty with the emails. That's not the point. The point is, do we trust all future board members with those emails? And once she has those emails, then we've lost control.
I think it's a great idea. I'm ready to hear what the community has to say.
Yeah, my only, the other thing, and I think Matt might have mentioned, is that, when you get the results back, just give us the results, the numbers.
Yeah, so this software will build automatic charts to summarize the data for you and give you the raw data all in one file.
That's all we need.
You motioned it?
I did.
I second it.
Perfect, thanks.
All in favor?
Uh,
Aye. All right. Thanks, Misty. Look forward to seeing that. Do we have a timeline? Do you?
It's almost finished, so sometime between now and Monday, the board will be getting a test version of it where you can go through the survey just like someone taking it, so that we can make sure all of the logic that's built into it is functioning properly. And of course, I'll need help making sure spell check and things like that.
Oh, that's me.
We're not writing to AP standards, so I don't want to spend time on that piece. I just want to make sure that can everyone read it? Does it make sense to everyone? Is everything spelled correctly? And if so, I think we're good to go.
yeah,
Awesome.
I responded in my response to a mail out to the email. We need to make sure that, we got a lot of residents who might have a burr in their saddle about something that happened between them and the city. I wanted the respondents to make sure they knew, we made sure they knew that they were responding to these questions, not in terms of city services, but in terms of the homeowners, the property owners.
All right. That's all we have in new business. Does any board members have anything else to discuss tonight? All right, I make a motion to adjourn. We will be moving into an executive session.
Second.
It'd be a motion.
Oh, I'm sorry. I make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Well, it'd be a motion to move to there.
Sorry, y'all. First time here, I'm learning.
And then
I mean, it's okay. I mean, if anybody doesn't get me, but technically.
I make a motion to go into executive session for one
Second.
topic.
I
Second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you guys for coming.
Get out
We
of
appreciate
here.
y'all. Have a good afternoon. See you in
Enjoy the draft.
May. Oh, I know, it just started.
Good luck.
Being out of the city.